All of my journals this year, it feels like, have been blue. Should I move away from the blue era? I've been putting this off for a while. It's finally done. I'm so happy. Let's mood board for my December theme, shall we? This is a test. We'll just see how we go. Oh no, I'm getting an error. Oh yeah, this is looking really promising, actually. How exciting. At this point, I really just want to give up. Hi, welcome back. This is the journal vlog where I show you stuff to do with my journals and stationery and sometimes books. There is currently a cat licking my leg. One moment. Oh, and occasionally you get guest appearances from Peaches and the Mitsu, but Mitsu's busy sleeping right now, so just Peaches. Hey, sweetie. Stash Hangs is this awesome fortnightly... Sorry, my floor is squeaky. This house is 125 years old. What do you expect? Stash Hangs is a fortnightly stationery social night that I love and cherish and look forward to every fortnight, but we didn't have the last one because a bunch of us who usually go, including the owner of Stash World, the stationery store where we have the catch-ups, went to the Melbourne Fountain Pen and Stationery show instead. Do you want to sit here, Peaches? Cat hair layer now. So we haven't been to Stash Hangs in like a month, and that's unusual, and I'm very excited. I thought we might pack. This was my tote bag from the Melbourne Pen and Stationery show, and it's a really, really good tote bag. So what should I bring? I thought I might start penciling out things for my journal for next year, which I think I'm gonna use this one. I've got two Travelers, let me grab you the other one. Two Travelers notebooks, Traveler size, like creative bullet journal type notebooks. This is the other one. They're both from Notebook Therapy. Do I do the blue one? I have a theme in mind that could be really good for the blue one, but all of my journals this year, it feels like, have been blue. So I feel like, should I move away from the blue era? Also, you can't buy this notebook. You can buy this one. So is it more frustrating for people if I keep using notebooks that they can't get their hands on? I don't know. Also, I think I know what the theme would be. Maybe. Oh, it's really hard to say. It'll probably be this one, but there's a chance it could be this one. I don't know. That doesn't help me right now, does it? Because I need to bring the one that I want to use. Do I just bring them both? They're quite small. I guess I'll just bring them both. My go-to pencil case for out and about is this one from Notebook Therapy. It came with last year's lucky bag. I don't think I'm gonna get the lucky bag again this year. I've got lip balm in it that is exciting. It's candy cane flavored. Hold on, I want to put some on. It never hurts to have a little ruler, so I'm gonna bring my tiny one, and I have just like a crappy eraser in here. Scissors, these are my travel ones. My current pen of the moment, this one's from Hand Turned Pens in Yorkshire, the UK. What did I put in it? Wearingle Jane Eyre. And that is actually a match to my November theme in my bullet journal, which used all of these things, plus a little bit of a yellow washi tape that I have unrolled onto one of those PVC card things. People always ask me about those PVC card things. I got mine on eBay. I think if you just search for PVC washi tape card, something will come up. Both of these washi tape card unroll situations have some of approximately the same yellow on, so I'm gonna bring both because neither of them look like they have especially a lot. I wonder what are the odds of inks today, because we're all very fountain pen hyped. Kind of fuzzy now, but a couple of cotton buds in case of swatching, just in case. I do still have some offcuts of this tape in my journal too, just like squished between the pages. Haven't done any of my weeklies for November yet, and it is today November 11, so I should get on that, which means I need my journal. This one right here, she is the Tifosi Gold Vintage, and I guess I'll need a pencil. I also have a stack of memory keeping to catch up on, so I'll need a glue tape. One of these. I might bring a glue pen too, just in case any of my ephemera doesn't stick very well. I think that should be it for the pencil case. And I've very helpfully been collating all of my bits of ephemera that I still want to put in my journal into this handy little folder. And for one last trick, for something quite different, I thought I might bring along my flower press journal, which I shoved some flowers into and then didn't do anything with. So if I bring that, just trying to think about the colors of the flowers I've got in here. I could coordinate that with, do you know what, I'm just gonna bring my sticker books, because these have got just random stickers throughout, ends of washi tape, PET tape rolls. When I only had 1 or 2 stickers left on a sheet or something, I would just put them in here. So I'll just try to use those things up rather than bringing more stuff, because that's the bag just about full. I think we might leave that. Let's go to Hanks. My camera ran out while I was in the process of doing things at Hang, so I can't show you everything that I got up to, but I did make some good progress on my November weeklies, which is very handy. Forgot to take a few key pieces, but worked with what I had, so that was very handy, very useful. They're done now. I also mentioned earlier showing you some pressed flowers that I hadn't done anything with yet. I filmed these things a little bit out of order and I didn't really know how the video would come together, so I actually haven't shown you those yet, but I will soon, because I did also play with those at Stash Hangs. My camera ran out of battery before I could film that part, but I will show you the end result, never fear. Pulled the flowers out of the flower press from the last batch, and some of them have gone better than others. These ones, this was the white jacaranda, has definitely kind of lost his colour. The yellow jacarandas have still got a little bit of yellow going on. They're blending in quite well with the table right now. This one I sent in for a second round last time because it still felt kind of soggy, and I think it's done now, it's cooked. These ones turned out pretty great though. I like how these have gone. These little pinky purple friends, and the buds pressed really cute too, which is really fun. I'm not super ready to do anything with them right now, so I think I'm just gonna tuck them into the journal pages because they are all dried out, so I'm not worried about them staining or anything. I really like these pink ones. Just gonna dump them all in like this. I might actually keep my pink ones separate to the ones that lost their colour. I'll put those in a separate spread because, like, if I use some washi tape and things, like maybe we can make it deliberately kind of brown themed, deliberately somewhat autumnal, you know, even though they were indeed spring flowers. And I might just chuck these last few in the same spread here. I'll see if I can reassemble this one, but if not, no worries, I'll probably just chuck it. Towards the end of my last vlog, I was going to Brisbane Shakespeare Festival, and as part of that, you could DIY a flower crown for $8. And so my friend Emily and I were like, heck yeah, we want to do flower crowns. I forgot about it, unfortunately, and I've left it in my house for a couple of days, but I still want to do something with it. So I guess I'll just disassemble the flower crown and then we'll press what I can. They've like started to dry out a little, but they're not crunchy. So I think I can still get somewhere. Yellow roses, some tiny ones. Actually, maybe I'll just cut them. These scissors need a clean anyway. Those ones, definitely the baby's breath. I actually would have loved to have had several more sprigs of that in here because I think that's gonna press beautifully. These tiny little daisies are probably a bit past good. Maybe if I take off their leaves, but we'll try it. I think this one's probably a bit past at it too, but let's just try everything and see. And I thought maybe we could try pressing some of the greenery as well. Maybe take this little sprig, that'll probably do. Got a few individual leaves that have just ended up on the desk, so I'll keep them as well, just in case. And this one got crushed in the bottom of my bag, unfortunately. Maybe we'll leave him. I've been finding the bottom of this press can scratch up my desk a bit, so I'm just gonna put it on some bubble wrap to help me out here. Okay, I do have one other flower already in here from the same day, actually. Down here, we won't mess with him. He's our bottom layer. Some cardboard, we'll do our next set. Okay, where to begin? Maybe we'll do greens. Just want to try to make sure all of the leaves are sitting quite separately. Fill in the gaps with these ones. Okay. Oh, come back. Don't run away. Having some trouble with those individual ones. Okay. Don't think just squash. Let's try and spread them out a bit. Okay, they look pretty cute. I feel like I've got space for maybe one more. If I open this one up, oh no, don't lose petals, and like press that one open. I think that could be fun. Definitely seems like the less fussing around I do before I put the cardboard layer on, the better it turns out. Just a bit of that. I feel like it would be good to open these ones up too, but like how much have they dried out? Oh gosh, it's pretty. Maybe I wanna, wait, I need paper. Just a little bit. And then we'll let the middle still kind of be a bud, so it's like partially open. Or should I open it? No, maybe I'll just open it all the way. Oh yeah, no, that was a good idea. It's looking really nice. You know, it's really funny. Years ago I had a laminator, and I think I sold it on Facebook Marketplace because I was like, what the heck am I gonna do with this thing? And now I wish I had a laminator. I could like make ephemera out of these little flowers, laminate them in some plastic, and then maybe use them in the journal in some way. I guess you could do that with tape too. I suppose that would also work. I'm gonna cut the stem off this one too and just let it be the head. And I guess we'll do the other guy I really like how it still has its bud attached. I'll just give it a little froof. A little something like that and that. Try some of these purple friends. I think I like them on the side. Maybe one more. Paper layer, cardboard layer, press. It's funny how I always seem to have exactly one more set of flour than I have like the bits of cardboard that were supplied with the press. So I have to go to my extra one that I made out of a box. These ones seem a bit sad, but I have them, so we'll just try. Okay, bit of paper, last bit of cardboard, and these are my extra leftover papers and some cat hair. I'm thinking I might take the book to hangs tonight. We've got stash hangs tonight. First time in a while, and I might have a play with them there. See what I can come up with. This part, tightening and loosening the wing nuts, is definitely the most annoying part of the process. Everything else is really fun, but I don't like this bit. All right, I'll check back in a couple weeks and see how they go. These are the November weeklies that I set up at Stash Hangs. My camera ran out of battery, so I didn't capture the whole process of what I got up to at Stash Hangs, but it was a very productive Stash Hangs for me. They aren't always that way. I forgot to take my letter stamps, so the headers are inconsistent with the rest of the theme, but I'm actually all right with that. I wasn't gonna not do it just because I didn't have them, you know. I also forgot my yellow marker, so significantly less yellow going on throughout here just because I didn't have it. Not a huge deal. And I also did a little bit of work in the flower press journal I wanted to show you because I think these came out really cute. So this is the one I did previously where I kind of painted the page in the school glue. This time I didn't have the school glue. I was kind of away from my usual elements. What are you doing? I used this squeezy Tombow glue and it doesn't actually seem like that did a great deal of anything because these are moving around quite a bit, but I think the little sprigs with the washi tape are adorable. So I may just get in there with my school glue and add a few dots underneath. Oh no, these ones are stuck together. I hope it's not ruined. And I mixed in a couple of those new patch scrapbooking papers in here as well, with the brown ones. These, I wish they'd kept their color a little better. I should have known, jacarandas are fickle, so I wonder what we'll do next. Editing Erin here. This next section of the video is actually a bit that I cut from the last vlog because there were two particular PET tapes from the Washi Tape Shop that hadn't yet been released at the time I published that. And so they're still under embargo, I couldn't show you. So I thought I'll just cut those bits out and put them in here. So let's have a look. I'm still in my Shakespeare clothes. Let's go. What do we got here? This one is, well, this is quite nice actually. It's like a neutral floral, like light white, kind of slightly warm tones. It is after dark, it's like dusk outside. Just gotta find the angle where the lights don't reflect off it too badly. There we go, we found it. As always, hibernal, what is that? There's text on here that doesn't fill me with joy, but the florals are super lovely. Lots of little shapes, big ones, little ones. And then we've got the text section. Super pretty. Oh, and this is cool, it's like a big chunk here. In a traveler's notebook, I feel like that would be a whole cover page, right? Like, would you right? That's very pretty. Let's do another floral. This one's called Frosted Meadow. Again, in the wide PET tape. Pre-cut. Everything's pre-cut these days. My life has become so much easier as a result. A lot of their stuff is kind of comes in little pairs, or you can choose to have them separately, or you can get them together in a little pair. And I think this one is probably supposed to go with the first one we looked at because the colors are very similar, the florals are very similar. Have a look at this one. So if the previous one had the frames and semicircles and corners and things like that, this one is all of those elements that take up a lot of space if you need a big floral. There's a whole like corner piece there, which is pretty cool. Some nice big flowers, some smaller flowers. These are those kind of really flexible elements. That's really pretty. And that kind of soft, warm grey colour scheme again. I like that. That's very nice. Don't know if we need Snowfall Serenity. Don't know if we need Frosted Romance in this kind of Halloween looking font down here. I don't know that I'm obsessed with that bit, but the rest of it, the flowers, chef's kiss. Several vlogs ago, I put some artwork into frames that I have been planning to make a gallery wall out of that will go above my desk in my office, but since then they've just been sitting in a bag on the floor of my office and I got really sick of them being on the floor, but I wasn't super sure how I was going to arrange them on the wall. I actually took a Skillshare class that helped me get this sorted out, and I just thought I'd take you behind the scenes a little bit on the process. I ended up making paper templates for every single one of them and put all of those paper templates up on the wall so I could kind of visualize how this was going to play
play out. This is the arrangement that I've landed on. I took a photo of it on the floor of my living room so I could refer to it when placing these up. I was just kind of eyeballing it. I wasn't getting too specific about the measurements in between the pictures. And I also had some screws in the wall from the artwork that I used to have up here. I was hoping I could use those for some of them. Unfortunately, it only worked out for one of the pictures, but I'll take what I can get. Inspector Surveyor Mitsu made sure that everything was looking the way he wanted it to, and also that he got his dinner on time. I've gone with a combination of some thrifted artwork. Some of them are public domain impressionist pieces because I do love me some impressionist artwork, and the colours in those, they feel very cottagecore to me. Two of them, a little set, this is actually one of them, my grandmother got for me when I was a child for my childhood bedroom. They have cats and fairies on them. Clearly not much has changed in what I enjoy. I procrastinated on this project for so long, but now that I've got this little part of the office makeover underway and almost finished, there's one hole still in the wall that I need to deal with, but I'm so happy with how it looks, I would like to continue with the process and make over another little corner. Next up is curtains, but we're not ready to do that today. I've been putting this off for a while, it's finally done. I'm so happy. I think it looks really good. And if you were looking at it, wait, here we go, and thinking it looks a little bit like right aligned on the wall, it looks like it's all a bit that way oriented. It is, that was on purpose, because I'm going to put a big frame here, a really big one. Let me show you. This one on that wall. I needed the extra space for a bit of balance because this will stick out quite far from the wall. Oh, it feels really good to have that done.
So we're having some repairs done on our house at the moment. It's ongoing. It's going to take until like late December. It's making it really hard to work. I actually just sat down to record voiceover and yeah, that's not happening. Ugh. Instead, let's mood board for my December theme, shall we? I got these two washi tapes from Daiso. They've got the Daiso logo on them. Literally months ago. I think I picked these up in like May, maybe even April. Pretty early in the year. I think I featured them in the vlog at the time that I found them too. I haven't even opened them yet. I just keep looking up at my gallery wall, even though things are quite frustrating at the moment. That's awesome. Why am I doing this without my glasses? So I feel like these two together give a really cute little kind of candy cane vibe, you know, like a sweeties kind of lolly sugary Christmas thing. And I'm gonna see how they pair with this new one from the Washi Tape Shop. So this one's called Holly Bloom, and it's definitely more on the red side. I think the greens are not too dissimilar. I think I can get away with that. The pink is, I think, maybe rosy enough to make that work. This is pre-cut, so they're stickers, which is great, and the Washi Tape Shop always give you a decent amount on a roll, so I thought I'd just audition those together. I also have an idea about some Dutch doors. My friend Jacqueline makes a dedicated Christmas journal, and it is beautiful. And I was looking at it at Stash Hangs the other night. It was just so gorgeous. And she had a really cool strip of tartan with a bow in her waterfall tabs, and I was like, that is so beautiful. I want to steal that. But it seemed like, I'm not sure, maybe that was like already printed on the page and she just cut around it, and that was a great opportunity. I don't have that, so I'm gonna have to DIY some bows with washi tape, which people have done before. I looked it up and I found a couple of people doing tutorials. They were all kind of aiming to keep them 3D though, because I imagine they were thinking of scrapbooking and, you know, card making and that kind of thing, more so than putting it in a journal that you want to continue to lay somewhat flat. So I'm not super sure how I'm going to approach that, but we'll work it out. I also have some stickers left over from last year's Hubman and Chubgirl advent calendar that I've been hoarding that I think would work well for this kind of colour scheme. So this, I feel, works. This kind of a vibe, I think, is cute. I do have other Christmas stuff. Let's have a look through the sticker books and just see. When I say sticker books, I mean the folders of stickers. I don't really think there'd be anything in the sticky folder that's Christmassy. I don't think that's the vibe. I know I have some Christmas stuff from Henriette Arts though. I feel like I put all of my Christmas things together because I knew this would happen. It might also be fun to use some of these kind of elements because I am planning on printing and cutting and foiling my headers for this one. Here we go. Is this the Christmas section? It is. So I've got these ones from last year. They might be a bit too cutesy wootsy. I don't know, we'll see. I've got two of those candy canes. And then this one is from Henriette Arts. That's some more Henriette Arts Christmas stuff over here. So I'll just get them out. It's worth just playing with things just to see. There's a little frame there that could be nice. That one's likely a paper monogatari little bit. I need to check the scrapbooking papers too, because I think I have some cute little green papers that might work. I mean, this is working already. I'm fairly happy with that as sort of a starting point. These are on this kind of brown backing, which makes it a little bit difficult to envision, I think, how these might work together. I don't really want to take them off the backing though, although they are vinyl, they probably would peel up okay. The green is definitely a lot more yellow here. Let's do one of these like non-curvy candy canes because they're a bit odd, you know. I probably wouldn't use the light blue, just the pink and green. And see, now that I've got it in front of me, I do really like these. They're like the little trees and stuff. The colours on the washi tapes are a little bit more muted than I maybe was expecting, but I think this looks like a really pretty soft muted vintage Christmas vibe anyway, without having to add the Hubman Chub Girl bits. That almost looks like Dr. Mario to me. What if okay, I'm gonna peel up Dr. Mario here. Oh wow, that went back on the sticker sheet so seamlessly you can't even tell. Wow, look at me go. Let me just try another piece, and not all of the bits and pieces from this tape roll would really work, but I think enough of them do. Like I wouldn't use the little snowman guy, but I love the wreath. The florals with the gingham I think is beautiful, so maybe I'll just make it, it's my standard, isn't it? 2 washies and a PET sticker of some sort. It's a fail-safe for a reason, it just works. There's nothing like seeing it all laid out together, you know? See, I think that's pretty. I think I could, just lost the entire tape onto the floor. I think I could do something with that though. I think that's got potential. I'm wondering now if the font that I've chosen isn't gonna work super well though. Let me try some silver stuff just to see. I think silver would be nicer than gold in this instance. I actually went so far out of my way to get silver Cricut foil. I've used some foil in my headers for my new mystery journal setup, and a lot of people in the comments were asking how I did it. I actually didn't find the Cricut foil to be especially difficult, but I was like, well, let's just include some in the December theme so I can show you in the vlog. We'll do that in a bit. But I have gone through in Cricut Design Space and set all of that stuff up already. Actually, maybe the font that I've chosen will still work. It's a little bit of like a whimsical script, like a very modern kind of script. I do really think the frame could work quite nicely. We're moving in a much more vintage direction than I expected. Possibly, with that in mind, Henriette's sheet might work a little better than I expected. So we've got this little Nomi guy who's pretty cute. Like he could be a little focus of the cover, couldn't he? He's got enough green and pink vibes going on that I think he could work, especially layered with our little frame maybe. It's coming together. There's something here. Also, this is where I'm at in the research and development journal. Like there's not much left here. There are only a few pages. How many we got? 9 spreads to go. So I'm gonna need to start a new one of those bad boys for next year probably. That one doesn't usually line up with the new year. That's kind of satisfying. This one I think I've had going for 2 years. All right, now that I know my plan is gonna work, I can go through in the journal and pencil out where everything's gonna go. This vlog is not a very linear one. I'm about to go through some stress, and if you wanna go on the ride with me, you're welcome to. We're gonna try and do print then cut with foil with my Cricut, and it's not gonna work, spoilers. If you are someone who is curious about how I did the foil headers for the mystery journal, just foil and cutting, no printing element required, I'm gonna show you that after all of the drama with the print then cut foil, because that is actually quite easy to do in my opinion. At least I hadn't had any trouble with it until I tried to add printing as an element, so that's gonna be after all of the drama. You can use the video chapters down the bottom to skip the drama if you don't wanna go on the ride with me. It is kind of funny though. Just thought I'd like bring you up to speed on that. I had quite a few comments on the first setup in the mystery journal about how I did the gold headers with the Cricut foil, so I'm planning to do them again for December. I thought that would just be a good opportunity. I'm in Cricut Design Space and I just thought I'd show you what I'm doing. This isn't really a tutorial because I am still working this stuff out, but I thought I'd show you the process. I'm using this font that is apparently called Finger. It's one of those cute kind of loopy cursive kind of fonts. And I'm actually not going to show you any more of the Cricut Design Space process here because this didn't work, so I don't want you to be doing things wrong because that's what I said and it fail on you. Please don't do what I do.
The stickers I made for the mystery journal were just foil, there was no printed element, and that seems to be what's messing me up here, so I'm going to show you how I do just foil stickers towards the end of the video, but we have to ride the print then cut roller coaster first, so let's do that now. I had a bit of trouble getting the washi paper to feed into the printer. I had to put some plain paper behind it. Didn't seem to want to recognize it, but it looks like it's coming out okay now. I don't know what to set this on to actually cut it. That will be an adventure. My little assistants are assisting. Aren't you, Mitsu? You're assisting so much. All right, this is printed. Now we load it into the Cricut. We're gonna put it on a mat and then we're gonna try and add the foil and then we cut. All right, I've got the printed sheet on my mat. As you can see from my previous adventures with the gold foil, you have to be really careful about where you place the foil because it will stick to the sticky bits of the mat and just rip off your foil sheet. So I'm gonna place this so it covers everything that we want covered, ideally without touching the mat. And the foil comes with these like sheets of sticker strips, long strips of sticker, which is to keep the foil where you want it. I'm gonna chop the excess off on the side here, and I'll keep this for potential future projects. It's very liquid metal, man. Mitsu, your ears are in the way, bud. Can you? Here we go. This is how it's looking when it's going into the Cricut. We need to put the fine tip transfer tool, which is the one with one line on it, in the little holder guy like that. Then we're going to put that in over here where our blade usually goes. It's actually very chill. And then we load this guy up, put it on default pressure, and this is the fine tip, so we'll just see how we go. Oh no, did it immediately curl up the corner? Maybe we'll be okay. All right, some of these might end up off center. This is a test. We'll just see how we go. Oh, I hope it's not looking for my cut lines because I covered them. I bet it is. I bet it's going to tell me I can't find your cut lines. Yeah, I think we're going to need to trim down the foil. I love that I didn't even think of that until now. All right, I'm actually very surprised. I didn't have to eject the paper. It just has started doing the fine foil parts. So hopefully that's a good sign. Once again, this is an experiment. We will see how it turns out. Some of them also make like foil a little off center. We'll just see. And if it looks all right, I'll still use them. And if it doesn't, maybe we try again. Or maybe we switch to normal printer paper, like sticker paper, rather than washi. I don't know. I am not going to fully unload the mat because that won't let you proceed anymore with the next steps. You have to keep the mat loaded. But I am just going to peel up a corner here and check this is going the way I want it to. Are we? Oh, no, they're completely off. They're completely off. Okay, that's a shame. Start again. This is probably because I couldn't see the print and cut lines, like the black ones in the corners. Didn't think about that, but like you can see when I turned it into the light where it's transferred, which is not where it's meant to be. That's a shame. Could also be the way I've set it up, not sure. Back to the drawing board, round 2. While my second page of this prints, I'm going to use this first one to make sure I'm making my foil area the right size this time. I'm gonna drop it ideally just inside the lines, sort of like that. Okay, that should hopefully work better. We are reloaded with visible cut lines. The fine tool is still in the clamp, so we're just gonna see if she likes this better. I had also forgotten before that there was a box that had fallen behind my Cricut and it wasn't letting this curl up very well, so see how much nicer that is? No horrible sounds. Wonderful. Wish me luck. Hopefully this part is easier because it will be like, oh look, the print and cut lines. Oh no, I'm getting an error. Isn't it wild that I didn't get this error before when it couldn't see the sensor marks at all? Okay, I need to try again. All right, I cut the corners off and taped them down as well, hopefully this time. Moment of truth. No error message so far. All right, it says transferring on my screen. We're in business. Please, please, please line up. Just comparing where it's placing the foil versus the last batch, which it put them over here. It does seem like it's in the right spot now, which is filling me with joy. Oh yeah, this is looking really promising, actually. But I do just want to check, so let's just peel up this corner. Check, this is where it's supposed to be, and it is. Let me get that shining in the light so you can see. Love it. Okay, stick that back down because we're not supposed to remove the mat from the machine while it's doing this. And we're going to switch to a different size foil transfer tip. It wants us to do the medium tip, which is 2 lines. So to get this one out, you just push that little, this thing, and that will yeet
Oh, it's so hard to do this one-handed. I couldn't do it one-handed, but it pushes this out enough that you can grab it and yank it the rest of the way. And we're swapping it for the medium tip, which has 2 lines right here. So that goes into this bit, that goes into that bit. We push that back over and then we say, go, go, go. Now we'll do the medium-sized lines. Those were all the fine ones. Now we're doing medium. So those were mostly days of the week, and the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the calendar. These will be headers for pages. These will be like functional page headers. Oh no, what happened? It's giving me a red light. Oh no. Are you serious? I am devastated. Design Space kind of still has me in the project, so I'm hopeful. Oh no, I don't think it's gonna work. Maybe we're back at the beginning. I don't really want to have it do all of that again. Can I tell it to skip? Let me research. I don't want to lose everything, so I think I'm just gonna tell it to go, but that means it's gonna do all the fine tip stuff again, which is really frustrating, but it's better than starting all over, right? Best laid plans. I cancelled the cut because I noticed it was cutting these lower ones. Well, not cutting, it was foil transferring these lower ones like really off. I feel like it did the top ones kind of okay, but guess we're doing round 3. So this is what I mean by having to be so careful around sticky things, because I just cut this piece to size for round 3 and it accidentally stuck to the bit that holds the foil down from from the first round actually. That took a strip of the silver off and now I have to do this again. Should I just give up? At this point, I really just want to give up. Everything's an experiment, so I'm patching that middle bit and I'm just gonna assume that that's fine. Do I care anymore? I may not. Once again, the fine tip part is done. We need to take this out and put in the medium point. All right, straight into it. I guess that's good. These parts where it goes like onto the sticker bit, typically I think don't go so well, but I no longer care. All right, it's transferred the medium ones. I'm too scared to lift this up and check if everything is aligned. I'm just going to commit. I'm just gonna assume that it's good, and we're gonna add in the bold tip and do the last step. And then I guess it has to cut. Wish me luck. Bold tip is in. It's the one with 3 lines. Let's go. This should just be the December header, I think. Yeah, right down the bottom. Oh, please work. So this is probably a really good example of how it only cuts the outside of whatever shape you ask it to do in the foil thing, which is why you have to tell it, if you want a solid foil thing, to cut many, many, many little lines, because otherwise it'll just outline things. All right, that's all the foil stuff. So now I get to take this off and then we cut, assuming it looks good. Are you ready? Wait, oh no, seriously? Okay, this is messed up. This is too hard. Oh, these ones are really off too. Oh, that's so disappointing. Okay, if you want to use foil, don't try to do it with print then cut. That's a nightmare. Just do foil. Then you don't need to match it up with things. Should we just cut it anyway, just to see? I'm just kind of curious about what it does. Like, relative to the foil or the printing, where are you gonna put it? Let's just find out. I'm just gonna let it do its thing, just to see how the cut turns out on the default pressure on this paper. This is also an experiment. I dare say the whole thing altogether is a failed experiment, but thanks for coming with me on the ride. So print then cut with foil was an epic fail of an experiment, but default cut pressure on washi paper with this like plastic backing, shiny, seems to be all right. So at least we learned something, I guess. God, I don't even want to do this theme anymore. Round 4, no foil. We're just gonna stay in our lane, you know? Ugh. I set up my December theme yesterday. Here's a little peek at the weekly. It turned out really well. I'm sad that the foil didn't happen, but I kind of can't stop thinking about it. I'm wondering if I set something up wrong in Design Space, but that second go at this where I didn't realize I had the cutting tool in the way of the Cricut, I think that was actually gonna work. Obviously, I don't need these stickers anymore, like I've already done this, but I'm wondering if... Hello, Peaches. Hi, darling. We never really got far enough for me to see these ones like properly working out, and I ended up not using the quote. I might use it later. But we're getting towards the end of November now, and I need to set up the reading journal for December. Ooh, this behemoth right here. So maybe we try again? Also, we haven't done November yet, have we? I forgot. I hadn't done the November like tracker pages. So actually maybe we'll do them for that. So I'll give it another go. We'll probably stick to lettering. Wow, I forgot I hadn't done November and now I need to think of a theme. Do you know what? I just recently got this gorgeous washi tape set. This is the Midnight Reader set from Bloomsicle Paper Co. based in Melbourne. They're so stunning. This is very silver.
silver gilded. So maybe we will stick with silver and I'll do this for my November theme. I'm feeling brave. Let's try. I've called in backup from my gal, Kelly Rousseau. Thank you, Kelly. Teach me. Teach me. I just learned so much from Kelly's video. I'm gonna try this, but I'm still having an issue that I had previously, which was, so this November header right here, yeah, this title, it's really big. This gray line is what I want to be the silver offset, and I have actually aligned them. When I click on its layer over here, these are attached together. Whenever I have something else selected, they don't show up as being aligned, right? They look like this, which is not at all where I want them. But when I click on the layer that is supposed to be that foil, it jumps back into place. It was doing this to me in my previous project too. I don't know if that's part of the problem, that Cricut just can't line things up, but I'm gonna try and go ahead and print this anyway and see. Also, I realized going through my sticker books to see, I thought I'd just do some book covers while I'm here because I'm gonna need them anyway. I've never done book covers on washi paper before, so that will be an adventure. But I realized while going through this process that I already had November stickers made for my reading journal, which is funny. I have no idea what I was planning to use these with. I do not remember. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do new ones. I've decided that if it does cut just that much off, I'm just gonna pretend it's a drop shadow and we'll go with it. It's also probably going to confuse the poor machine that I have some standard print then cut book covers over here. But let's just see what happens. I'm gonna hit make. This is the formatting page where it's like, this is what your mat's gonna look like. It looks like that November header is off, so I'm gonna try and fix that up. The rest of them look like they should be okay. So I'll just try and tweak that one a little bit. Are you better aligned now? No. Okay. The reading stats one underneath also looks like it might have this. Oh, now that I'm quite zoomed, I'm at 200 to 25%. It does look like they're all a little off. But do you know what? I don't think I care. This is still an experiment. I am determined. I might give these two a touch more tweaking. The others I think are small enough that it won't matter. Here is our print. I'm gonna put it on the mat and layer some silver, but only in the areas we need it. So that means down here, up here. We don't need silver over any of the book covers, and we don't need it over these circles that are gonna be my pie charts, which is actually great because it means I can use offcuts from yesterday. Also very strategically adding this time before I put this on the mat so I can't accidentally mess anything up. Hello, Mitsu. Gosh, you're a good helper, aren't you? I'm gonna need you to move out of the way, sweetheart. I believe it should be okay if I slightly cover the book covers and things and just stick over them. I don't think that'll interfere with the ink, but who knows? Okay, wish me luck. Again, it's tool time. Fine tip is in. Mat, load, let's go. Go, you good thing. We can do this. We're doing it together. Honestly, from watching Kelly's video, what I had last time should have worked. My layers, my flattening, my attaching should have done the job. So it's good to know I was on the right track at least. I feel like this looks promising. Oh yeah, it does. It looks really promising. Just that little peak at this corner. All right, I'm not going to mess with it. I'm going to put in my medium thinger right in there and just let it continue. Please continue. We don't have much left to do. Okay, it's done. Now I have to peel these up. Hope that they haven't messed with my prints at all. Oh no, oh no. You gotta peel this stuff right on the angle sometimes or it doesn't go great. Oh no, I think it took off some of the paper. Sorry, Axio. Sorry, Bridget Camera. But not sorry me, because this has worked. Have I won? Have I prevailed? Yesterday, Erin 0, Cricut 3. Today, Erin 1, Cricut, well, it's doing what it's supposed to do, so maybe it also wins. Yeah, not a lot of great transfer going on that end for November. I think that's because of the sticker placement. I might be able to get it to do that one more time. You can see on the back here, it hasn't even really taken that silver off. But the rest of them look good. So what if would it let me just do that part again? Oh no, some of this reading stats one, looks like it starts out okay over here and then they get off center a lot over this side. Not obsessed with that, but I'm thinking, you know, I could just like try to get it to do this bit again. Some of that seems like it's off as well, maybe. So I might just leave it. We'll just let it cut. So we switch it back to a little cutting thing with some cat hair on it. I jinxed it. I am trying really hard not to go full Australian and swear at this thing right now, but it is cutting really off. Possibly it just needs to calibrate. It needs to calibrate. Do you need to calibrate? Look at this, it's gonna chop
the end of the word reads off. How very dare you. I can't believe I thought I'd won. For a second there, I really thought I'd won. Do you know what? We might be changing our plan and going back to those stickers I already made for November because this is messed up. What's wild is that the book prints, like the book cover cuts, appear to be entirely acceptable. The November one's a little funky when you get over to the end here. You can see the very fine, like the line around the edge where it's been cut. Reading stats, down here, for whatever reason, even though I literally flattened the purple layer with the cut layer, it has kind of centered off the foil layer instead. I don't get it. I think I need to go ask Kelly for some help. Also, since I couldn't choose washi sheet, trying to remove this, it has fully die cut some of these. Love that for me. Despite my now, what are we up to, 4 failed attempts at this whole print then cut with foil thing, I'm pretty determined, but I figured let's just go back to basics. People weren't asking about print then cut with foil. People were just asking about foil. So let's just do some foil stickers for my December theme in my reading journal, because I've done that before. So theoretically, it shouldn't be a problem. So I'm gonna show you what I do within Design Space to make it do the thing. I am not a Cricut expert by any means, so please take this with a grain of salt. If you want good tutorials, go check out Kelly Rousseau. I will make sure her channel is linked. We're gonna start with a text layer. I'm using a font called A Auto Signature. I used to use this on wedding albums for my clients. I just think it's very pretty. Something to know about the Cricut foil tool is that it will only draw the outsides of your design. It won't color in the middle unless you do some extra steps to put lines through the middle of whatever the thing is that you want to be solid. I did that somewhat. You can see it here on this March header. This font is called Cinzel Decorative, and you can see I've gone in and added, there's actually a video that I'll link to as well that walks you through how to do this and gives you the file to make it have lots of lines like that. We're not doing that today, but I have strategically chosen a font that has a pretty tight, it's just like a single line, quite thin, it's not like too thick or anything, because I figure once it's foiled around both sides of that, it will look mostly like it's been filled in anyway, depending on which foil tool you choose, because there are 3. And you have to have the specific Cricut foil transfer tool to do this. It doesn't come with the Cricut, it's a separate, like, extra peripheral that you have to buy. But that comes with some little 4x6 samples of different foil colors too, so you can start making stuff straight away. I've already set up all of my headers for my December reading journal stats, pages, stuff. So I thought I'd do a book title here. We're gonna do This Monster of Mine. How big is that? That's like 30 centimeters across. My journal's pretty big. 30 centimeters is probably a bit much. We might make it like 25. That would fit across the top of the page. By default, when you make new text in Cricut Design Space, it's just basic cut up here. If you want to make it foil, you have to go to that drop down, go down to the foil tool, and then choose if you want it to be fine, medium, or bold. I don't remember what I've done. Let me check one of my other ones here. I've done the December header in bold foil, and this one, I guess I'll do the same because it's kind of a similar size, you know? So we'll go, instead of basic cut, we'll go to foil. Whoops, we'll choose bold. And it's gonna default to gold. I'm gonna be using gold foil, so that works fine for me. If you're using a different color, you can choose that. It doesn't really matter, it just tells Cricut when you need to change materials. So if you were doing both gold and silver, it would be like, this is the point where you take off the gold foil and you put down the silver, or whatever it is. We're just doing gold foil, so we'll just set it to gold. Carry on. So now the machine knows to use foil to do this text, but it doesn't know yet that I want it to be a sticker that has its own cut line around the words. So I have to go up to offset. There is this create sticker button. You have to have Cricut access, like the paid subscription to use that. I don't have that, so I go to offset instead. And you make the size of your offset whatever you want it to be. I like it to be fairly tight around the letters, but still sort of somewhat connected. And when you're happy with it, you can hit apply. For some reason, it will also default to foil now because that's what our previous layer was. This I want to just be a basic cut. And I've changed the background color to gray so that I can see what I'm doing with my offsets, because if it's white and then you set your, whoops, this layer, your offset color to white, because I don't want it to print like a black background behind this gold text. We all know I've had a lot of trouble with print then cut and foil, so of course I don't want it to print anything. But if you have a white offset on a white background, you can't really see it. So I've been changing my background color lately to gray. And you see in the T here, there's this little triangle here. The offset was like, oh, there's a gap here, you know, whatever millimeter distance we chose for the offset, it's like, doesn't reach there. But I actually don't want it to cut a tiny triangle out of the middle of the word monster for no reason. So I'm gonna go to my offset layer, I'm gonna go down to contour, I'm gonna say hide all contours, and then I'm just going to click the basic shapes of each of those words. They're gonna be separate stickers, I'm okay with that, I'll just place them individually. And that's going to get rid of that little gap in the T, unless we selected it, then it would keep it there, but it's not selected, so there we go. It's gone, like a magic. I'm going to select both of those layers, the text that is foil and the offset. I'm gonna go to align and down to center, and then I'm going to attach them to each other, because that's gonna tell the Cricut these things need to be in the same place on the page. It has been doing the weird thing that I showed you earlier where it, like the foiled layer jumps around, sorry, when it's selected versus when it's not. I am just trying to not mess with that this time. I feel like maybe me trying to correct it was part of the problem before, so I'm not going to touch that. I've just used the same font that I'm using for my December theme, and I probably don't actually want to do that, so I'm actually going to delete that whole bit. And I'm going to find a font that better suits the book, which I haven't finished yet. This monster of mine, and we'll do the author's name as well, but we'll do that separately. I feel like something quite, ooh, it'll just be the outside though, so my instinct is like, choose something bold, but if I do choose something bold, it'll only still do the outside and it won't look bold anymore, will it? This one could be fun because of how everything is a bit detached. Actually, I think that could be really cool. Let's go with that. Because this is a bit taller of a font, I'm gonna go with 22 this time. This is metric, by the way, because I live in Australia. So, I'm gonna go make it foil bold. There's a bit more detail in this one. Heck it, let's make it bold. And I'm gonna give it the, actually before I give it an offset, I'm gonna make it a separate layer, and I'm gonna make this the author's name, Shalini Abesekara. I'm just gonna check that I spelled that correctly. I'll make that a touch smaller, so whoops, maybe 15. This one I'm gonna set to medium foil, because it is a touch smaller. I don't know how it's gonna go, there are a lot of lines there. Let's go back to the book title, give it an offset. That's looking pretty good. It's a bit like finicky around the O here. I might just make it a touch bigger. We'll go 0.29, see how that looks. 0.3, that's a bit better. The more little finicky bits there are around a sticker, the longer it's gonna take to cut is all. Yeah, we'll do 0.31 for the offset on this one. And I've got this little gap over here that I'd like to get rid of. Once again, it's told me it's a foil layer. I just want a basic cut, and I'd like it to be white, please. So I choose my offset layer, contour, hide all contours, and then we just keep. One has to be selected by default, which is why the first one is already grayed out when you click that, but now we don't have that little gap for no reason, which is great because it means I can layer this over other stuff. I need to attach those layers, don't I? Otherwise things will go poorly. Wrong layer. Align them, center, nothing moved. Attach. Let's do it again for this one. So I'm gonna make an offset. That looks pretty good. They're even connected, which I like. Apply. It thinks it's foil again. I want it to be a basic cut in white. I don't think it moved. I'm just gonna go ahead and attach those two. Groovy, groovy, groovy. I have not arranged these onto an A4 sheet or anything. I'm just gonna see what it gives me. It does by default. I'm gonna tell it that I'm going to be doing this on A4 paper. We're just gonna do the normal sticker paper, same as this. For this one, I'm not gonna do washi because I feel like stuff that I'm layering it over, washi can be a little transparent. I'd like these to be a bit more solid. So just standard sticker paper this time, which is A4, what I have. This is how it's laying it all out on the page. I will need to be careful. There are no cut lines on this one, so it doesn't really matter about, it won't have like those sensor marks that it had on all the ones that I struggled with. But I do have to be careful about putting those white sticker bits on the edges of the paper because it doesn't transfer very well when it has to go through those. I'm just gonna be careful about how I stick the foil to the page. So I haven't even turned on my Cricut. Oh yes I have, wow. Oh, go me. I'm gonna take my mat, put my paper on it, line up the gold foil. You've seen me do that a bunch of times. I'll show you once it's done. All right, my foil's on. The bigger the piece, the harder it is to get it to lay completely flat, but I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna choose copy paper because I don't really have much more of a choice. And I'm gonna go with, yeah, default pressure. Now I need to load the foil transfer tool bold tip, which is the one with 3 lines. Pop this in and then we'll switch to medium for some other stuff. I've deliberately gone with medium for small headers because I'm hoping that gives me a more filled in text appearance. Let's go over here. So I need to take out this blade. I'm gonna put it over here, not here, up here. That goes in here, and now we can load her up. And because there's no printing that it needs to align with, it can't really do this wrong. The cutting could still go wrong. That part, I'm like, I still don't think calibrating it will help. I think that's just for print and cut. Machine says it's ready. Let's hit go, and we'll let it do all of the bold cutting, well, transferring, all of the bold transferring first. Off she goes. These are my circles. C for the, what are they called? Pie charts that'll go on my stats page. Little bits of headers. It'll usually do the inside of things first, I've noticed, which is very interesting. Then it'll come back and do the outside. I am confused because I did all of that with the bold tool, and I swear this was the stuff that I wanted it to do in medium. I must have misread it. Anyway, it's done now. Yeah, it's currently, I did this last time too. It's currently telling me to remove the used gold foil, put new gold foil in case anything is gonna go over the top. I'm gonna leave it where it is because we're not doing anything like over the top of what we've done. And it's telling me to load the bold tip. So I was supposed to do the medium one first. Whoopsie. We're just gonna leave it there and do the next step. I'm not super stoked with how it's cut, with it's transferred Shalinia Basicara down here. It looks a bit dodgy. This part really hasn't transferred at all. So I guess I'm just gonna hand letter that part, but the rest of it looks mostly okay. So since the correct tool is already in there, I'm just gonna press play. Well, I did, already. And we'll just let it do the next part. Something else I've been doing is just like holding the foil taut with my hand wherever I can. This is where we've ended up. Everything has done okay. This Monster of Mine header also, maybe this font just doesn't lend itself so well. Parts of it have worked really well. Does seem like it transfers better just at the top of the mat. Likewise with cutting. Down the bottom of the mat, it seems to have a lot more trouble, but our next step is to remove the foil without removing the mat. So we're not gonna touch the little mat eject button. We're just gonna take the foil off. I have considered grabbing like a ballpoint pen and tracing the foil manually in the areas that it didn't go so well, but like I'd have to, there's nothing under here to support it. I'm just gonna work with what works here, and anything that doesn't, I'll just do a workaround, letter it myself in a gold marker or something. So let's take this off. And the big reveal, as expected, these bottom ones are not the best thing I've ever seen. Little dots on eyes and things it also seems to have some issues with. Difficult to do one-handed, but like usable, you know? I've even got gaps in some of the circles up here. Let's get this bit of tape from behind the cutting tool, just in case it causes me any dramas. All right, this is where we've ended up. I do think maybe switching to more pressure would help with a lot of this issue. Also using the correct tool, because I was using bold here and I actually wanted medium. That's entirely on me, but we're gonna go ahead and cut anyway. So we'll put the blade back in and just hit go. And hopefully they're in alignment this time, because Lord knows I've had some trouble with that. Okay, so far so good. I will still use those. Yeah, it looks like we're doing all right here. Maybe for this Monster of Mine, I might even just use my Cricut project as a reference and get in there with a black marker, fill in the rest. I feel like that could be kind of fun. I still have it on the mat, but here's where we've ended up. I think it's looking still not the greatest, honestly. I just can't do it this month, can I? I'm struggling. But I do think I can just fill in any little details that I missed and it'll be fine. So I'll probably use them anyway. I may not. But hey, thanks for going on the journey with me. I do just still want to peel this up and see how it goes, because this is default cut. I usually use washi sheet on this kind of paper and I set it to more. I don't know, washi sheet's not an option for foil transfer, so we're just gonna flip this over, peel it off onto my laptop underneath, see how it goes. Oh, okay. Already, that's not very kiss cut. I want kiss cut. I'm sure maybe you'd have more control if you were using the Cricut sticker tool, or maybe you wouldn't. I don't know, I've never used it. Oof, just trying to keep this really rolling away at an angle because that seems to be helping. Every now and then you'll get a commercial sticker sheet that's like this, and I tell you what, cutting stuff myself has made me a lot more forgiving of the manufacturers. It's probably easier to see from the back, but there we are. It's not too bad. That will do, pig. That'll do. Thank you for joining me on my November stationery adventures. I hope you've had a good time. Just in case you're keen to keep hanging out, here is a playlist of all of my vlogs so far this year. And underneath that, right here, is a link to a video that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. See ya.